Joseph Biden in the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad month. Joe Biden is getting knocked around pretty hard on just about all the major issues facing his presidency, and deservedly so. The messaging coming out of the White House is inconsistent and uncertain. The White House seems to be reacting to events, not leading on them. Is Joe Biden even capable of salvaging his presidency at this point? Because so far, a mere 200 days in, he's failing miserably on all the fronts. Just look at the major headlines from this week alone. On Afghanistan, we're a joke on the world stage thanks to some really dumb moves by our president and the generals. The looming collapse of the Afghan government has shocked the White House and the Pentagon. The speed of the Taliban advance has been stunning. Biden was forced to send thousands of Marines and U.S. Army troops back into Kabul to protect the evacuation of U.S. personnel. Then, in a stunning move, Biden asked the Taliban, the bloodthirsty terrorists, please don't touch our embassy, please. What the? Republicans and former Trump administration officials have pounced on the weakness we're showing the Taliban and the rest of the world, watching and waiting to see how we leave this godforsaken place. They're saying we're leaving Afghanistan a loser. They say we lost, and sadly, they're probably right. And in the timing is like a Greek tragedy. We're leaving losers on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Thanks, Joe. More on Afghanistan in just a minute. On COVID, the resurgence of COVID via the Delta variant, maybe the Lambda variant too, threatens to detonate Biden's victory party on COVID. Case numbers are soaring, hospitalizations rising. What was supposed to be the hot vax summer suddenly ain't so cool. Numbers are surging, and it looks like mask mandates and vax passports haven't really helped. The CDC can't even count the numbers accurately. On Sunday, they claimed Florida had over 28,000 new cases. Now, they had to retract that number when the Florida Department of Health tweeted at them saying the number was actually only 21,000. Still a lot, but 25% lower than the CDC had originally posted. Begs the question, folks, how can we trust anything the CDC says about the virus if they can't even count cases in one state? On immigration, the Biden administration has never gotten a grip on the issue since Biden took over. The numbers are off the charts, and they keep getting worse. 212,000 illegals were apprehended at the border in July alone, the highest monthly total in 2 decades. Nearly 19,000 of those illegals caught in July were unaccompanied children, an all-time record. And who can forget the Democrats whining about the conditions at the border facilities when it was Trump? Apparently, none of those same hypocrite Democrats care that much about the thousands of people who are crammed under highways trying to keep from dying in 100-degree heat in Texas. On those last two fronts, COVID and immigration, call me crazy, but I believe in cause and effect. Are we sure the growing spread of COVID in America isn't the fallout from the massive numbers of immigrants coming across our border? The numbers would agree, as it's estimated that 20% of the hundreds of thousands of migrants coming into the border each month are COVID-19 positive. 20% of the 200,000. Cause and effect, folks. Finally, on inflation, inflation is raging at 7.8% annually, the highest annual rate since they've been keeping that stat the way they do. It's a headline no president ever wants to see, especially since the spike in inflation began in January, exactly timed to Joe Biden's taking over from Trump. So while old Joe is averaging 7.8%, Trump left office with inflation a tame 0.8%. Now, no better place or worse place to see and feel that rise than at the gas pump. Gasoline up a whopping dollar in the last year alone. That's a tax on every single American driver. A little math here. We use 146 billion gallons of motor fuel per year. That's right. We just got handed a $146 billion tax hike, and it's getting worse. Prices of gas turns into prices for all things we buy, as most of the goods we use are produced somewhere else and then trucked, flown, or railed to where we are. So higher fuel equals higher milk, higher avocados, and higher summer swimsuit prices, and everything in between. Thanks, Uncle Joe. So on the 4 major issues, President Biden is failing miserably. Inflation ripping because of Joe. Illegal immigration soaring because of Joe. COVID reemerging in spite of Joe. And Afghanistan about to explode That's on you too, Joe. Bottom line, for old Joe Biden, it's been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad month.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.